Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we have even more Call of Duty Warzone news to go over. Today's news involves a potential release date for Warzone, as well as Infinity Ward's intentions for Warzone this year and Activision's intentions for the game going forward into the years 2021 and even 2022. Let's kick things off here today by talking about the source, because this information is coming from a gaming news site called VideoGamesChronicle.com. Now, if you're like me, then you've never heard of this website whatsoever, and therefore you're a bit skeptical as to how valid their information can actually be. But rest assured, because parts of the leaks and stuff that we're going to be discussing here today have been independently corroborated by Charlie Intel, which is by far the most trusted Call of Duty news site on the internet. So according to the Video Games Chronicle article, which of course is linked down in the description, sources are telling them that Warzone is being co-developed by Infinity Ward and Raven Software. This much has been corroborated by Charlie Intel, as their independent sources are also telling them the exact same thing, but the article goes on to also claim that despite so much of Warzone already being loaded into the game files and with players already accidentally being thrown into the lobbies, we're still a few weeks out, right? We're still a few weeks out from the official launch of Warzone, which they are claiming is going to be in early March. Despite this, however, these mysterious sources are also claiming that marketing for Warzone is going to begin this week, as North American YouTubers and live streamers are going to be flown out to the Infinity Ward offices to play and record the Battle Royale game early. Now, this does not mean that we're going to start seeing gameplay of Warzone right away, but these sources are claiming that these content creators will be playing the game this week and recording it, so I'm really interested to see if any of the typical crew of these same couple of YouTubers are going to be making an announcement of any kind. Now, I know this is going to come off the wrong way, and I promise I don't mean for it to come off the wrong way, but we all know the typical crew of YouTubers and live streamers that get flown around for all of these different events, right? Well, if some of those guys decide to make a statement saying that they have not heard anything whatsoever about an early recording session for Warzone, then we will know that this article isn't really entirely accurate. But at the same time, if those same YouTubers and live streamers don't mention being flown out whatsoever, and instead they simply pretend like this article doesn't exist, and they basically just ignore this altogether, then I think it's safe to assume that most of them are under an NDA, and they're not allowed to discuss anything about playing Warzone until they reach the embargo date in their agreement with Infinity Ward and Activision. But either way, it appears that some official marketing for Warzone is going to be coming very soon, and I personally can't wait to see what they have to show us. But moving along here, the Video Games Chronicle article claims that the previous leaks and rumors are true, and that Call of Duty Warzone is going to be completely independent, and it's also going to be free to play. How this will supposedly work is once Warzone goes live, there's going to be a simple update for existing Modern Warfare fans, which will allow them to play Warzone right from their Modern Warfare game. But for the people out there who don't own Modern Warfare, they're going to be able to download Warzone on their PlayStation, Xbox, or even PC and play for free, because the game itself is going to be completely separate. But within Warzone itself, there's going to be an option to pay and upgrade to the full Modern Warfare experience, which would obviously include campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops. Now, within Warzone itself, the Battle Pass is said to still exist, so there's going to be shared progression with multiplayer, which is definitely some great news, but I think the big hope for Warzone is they're hoping to bring in even more fans to the franchise because of that free price tag. If we go back to that Video Games Chronicle article, they make a very interesting statement about the future of Warzone, which is something that I think a lot of us have already considered, but what they said really puts everything into perspective. Within the article, they say that with Warzone being a completely separate free-to-play game, which is completely unlike what they did back in Black Ops 4 with Blackout, this leaves the door open for Warzone to be continuously updated with content as each new Call of Duty game is released. We talked about this a bunch back during Black Ops 4, right? The idea was they're probably not going to make a new Battle Royale game every single year, so Blackout's probably only going to be it, right? So it would be cool if a bunch of Modern Warfare content were to make its way into Blackout, but obviously that did not end up happening. Well, the plan, according to this, is with Warzone, since it's going to be a completely separate, standalone, free-to-play game, the plan is to continuously update it as every new Call of Duty game comes out, and because of that, they can simply blend content from each new Call of Duty title into Warzone until Warzone itself becomes a completely new game on its own. If the rumors are to be believed for Call of Duty 2020, then we're going to be getting a soft reboot of the Black Ops franchise, and if that happens, then we can see areas, characters, and weapons from Call of Duty 2020 being added into Warzone, blending in with all the Modern Warfare content, or potentially they could just have an entirely separate map designed for only Black Ops content and the Black Ops universe. The possibilities for Call of Duty Warzone are nearly limitless, and with the game being free to play, it's all but guaranteed to have a massive population right from the very beginning. I did a bunch of research going into this video, and it turns out that the free-to-play Call of Duty mobile game hit over 172 million downloads within its first 2 months alone, and since then, it's been a huge cash cow for Activision. Now, the obvious difference with Call of Duty Warzone is it's only going to feature the Battle Royale game type, but as we all know, Battle Royale is insanely popular right now, and because the price is right at free, I fully anticipate that this is going to be an incredibly successful game because it's free and it's going to be available on both console as well as PC. Now, as I'm sure most of you guys know by now, Activision did announce during their investors report that microtransaction sales for Modern Warfare have been blowing up as compared to the sales they got during the Black Ops 4 lifecycle. So, with this new flood of millions upon millions of players downloading Warzone, I think it's incredibly likely that these players are going to spend a bunch of money on the in-game store, and so long as the game continues to be updated and fans are enjoying it, I can definitely see Activision pushing Raven Software and the rest of the Call of Duty developers to continue creating content for Warzone for years to come, no matter what Call of Duty title ends up coming out in 2020 and 2021 and even 2022. Now, based on everything that we found in the game files so far, it appears that Warzone is going to be an absolutely massive game that has a lot under the hood and a lot of moving parts. If you guys played Blackout back during Black Ops 4, it's going to be like that, but it's going to be a lot more complex. There's a lot more going on with Warzone as compared to Blackout, and what's really interesting about that is, like I said earlier, when these new Call of Duty games come out, like Call of Duty 2020, which is rumored to be a Black Ops game, when that game comes out, they could very easily take content from COD 2020 and put it into Warzone. So, what do we know about Warzone? We know the kill streaks are going to be a thing, right? You collect your plunder, you go to a supply station, you can use that plunder to buy kill streaks to use while playing Battle Royale. Well, the kill streaks right now, obviously, are kill streaks that are tied to Modern Warfare, but when COD 2020 comes out, they could very easily replace the Modern Warfare kill streaks with kill streaks that we find within COD 2020. We have vehicles in Warzone, like the ATV and the SUV, and once COD 2020 comes out, they can very easily replace those vehicles with Black Ops versions of the same vehicles, and even the Elite Gulag feature, right? If you guys haven't heard about this, the Gulag in Warzone, apparently once you die, you're going to have the opportunity to 1v1 somebody else who has also died in the Gulag, and if you win, you can come back and actually continue playing on the map. Well, if that's going to be a feature in Warzone, that's very clearly a Modern Warfare feature, but when COD 2020 comes out, they could very easily replace the Gulag with Vorkuta from Black Ops 1, right? It just makes so much sense. They could very easily incorporate so much Black Ops content into Modern Warfare if they decide to continuously update Warzone for years and years to come. Now, what makes this even more interesting is after the Video Games Chronicle article was posted, video game industry insider Daniel Ahmad retweeted the post, which seems to suggest that his sources and his information line up with what was listed within the article itself. Now look, I can't lie to you guys, I have not personally heard of this Daniel guy, but we all know Charlie Intel, hopefully we all know Charlie Intel by now, and they posted in their article covering all this news that Daniel Ahmad is a really well-connected figure within the gaming industry, and he has accurately leaked tons of information about Call of Duty in the past, and just like with the gaming revolution, I'm personally inclined to believe Charlie Intel when they say something, because they are incredibly well-connected themselves within the gaming industry, especially on the Call of Duty front. Well guys, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. That's pretty much all the news that we have so far surrounding Call of Duty Warzone. I know it was a lot to take in at one time, so to quickly summarize, Industry sources are claiming that Warzone is going to be free to play and an independent game, and it's going to be coming out in early March, with the most likely date being Tuesday, March 10th. These sources are also claiming that several YouTubers and live streamers are going to be flying out to play the game early this week, and marketing is going to begin soon, though we don't know for sure when we're going to see proper footage or trailers. It could be this week. YouTubers could start posting videos on Friday for all we know, but we don't know for a fact when it's going to be happening. But these sources are saying that these YouTubers are being flown out to play Warzone this week, and we also learned that the game is being co-developed by Infinity Ward and Raven Software, and the plan is to support Warzone for years to come, as compared to releasing a brand new Battle Royale game every single year. As always, I will do my best to keep you guys up to date with any and all Call of Duty Warzone news and information as soon as that news and information becomes available. But for right now, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving it a like, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.